Okay.
All right. So the workshop is now recorded, so we can start. So hello everyone, welcome to the Quantum Computing and Programming Workshop, QBronze 91. My name is Pavel Gora. I'm one of the coordinators of the QCousins department at QWORD. So I will tell a bit more about QWORD at the end of this introductory talk. And I'm also one of the board members of QWORD and organizers of this Entangling workshop for Q Germany. So, as you know, our workshop will last 4 days. So we are starting now, and there will be the second day tomorrow, and the next 2 days on the next weekend. Each day, we are planning to start at 2 p.m. in Germany. And the lecture part will take about 4 hours, so sometimes might be a bit less, sometimes maybe a bit more. And the lectures will be also followed by individual work by all of you, by participants, based on the training materials that we prepared in QWORD. So these training materials are called Bronze, so all of you should have received the link to the materials and instructions on how to prepare your environment. So we hope that all of you have already prepared the environment locally. I will have to, okay. Thanks, Zeki, for muting participants. So if you encountered any issues with installing the environment, you can ask questions on our Discord. So the Discord server that you have joined, hopefully, is our primary communication channel. So there are dedicated channels on this server. So when you ask a question, you can just so please ensure that you ask it on the proper channel. And it's also wise to first check if there were similar questions asked in the past, because maybe the question is already answered. As I said, I'm one of the organizers, and Zeki is another organizer. So Zeki, maybe you would like to say a few words about yourself as well?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Pavel. So I'm Zeki. I'm currently a PhD candidate at Karlsruhe Institute for Technology at Institute of Technology Assessment and Systems Analysis, and we will be forming Q Germany with Arthur, and I think Arthur is also here, but in either case, we will also speak tonight after the courses are done. And if you have any questions regarding Q Germany or regarding how the workshop is going to progress, you can either ask Pavel, me, or Arthur in this weekend and the following weekend. And okay, thank you for attending.
Thanks, Zeki, for this brief introduction. And our instructor is Maxim Dmitriev. So Maxim, maybe you would also like to briefly introduce yourself.
So hello everyone, and I will maybe tell a bit more also about the workshop structure, how we will work all together. So yes, I will entertain you all the 4 days of the workshop with lectures. We'll go together through the materials, and I'll try my best to make this journey as pleasant as possible.
Great, thank you. Thanks, Maxim. And we also have several mentors who will also help us conduct this workshop, and they will also help in answering your questions on our Discord server. So Elif, Arthur, Bartu, Berat, Karim, Yasir, and Cenk. I think that at least some of them are here. So maybe if someone would like to also maybe briefly introduce himself, you can also do it. But there's also a dedicated channel on our Discord to introduce ourselves, and we also encourage everyone to also just write at least a few words about yourself, about your experience, interests in quantum computing, especially quantum computing, but maybe also some other fields of science. Yeah, and we also would like to thank our graphic designer, Aga Wolska. So thanks to her, we have such nice graphics prepared for this workshop. as I said, we'll use the training materials developed by Qword called Bronze. The lectures will be carried out using this Zoom. And if you have any questions to us, or especially to Maxim, who will be the instructor, you can also ask your questions on the chat, or maybe it might be even easier to unmute yourself and ask the question, but I believe that Maxim will also later tell what will be the best way to ask questions for him. And of course, you can ask questions on our Discord, right? So then our mentors can also answer questions. The important thing is that you can obtain a certificate after solving homeworks. So there will be 4 homework sets in the tool that is called Canvas. So shortly after this introductory lecture, I will send you invitations to Canvas. Once you join Canvas, I'm not sure if you will have such an option, but try to provide the name, first and last name, that you would like to have on your certificate at the end, because as for now, I'm copying your names from the registration form, and some of you provided only the first name, for example, or so in this case, if you would like to have a different name on the certificate, please remember to change your name in the Canvas once you join it, once you receive the invitation. As I said, we'll start sending invitations to Canvas soon. Yeah, there will be 4 homework sets in Canvas, and there are 4 deadlines. So for the first set of homeworks will be released later today, and you will have 1 week to solve it. So in all cases, you will have exactly 1 week, right? So the next set will be released tomorrow, and then you'll also have 1 week. And the remaining 2 sets of homeworks will be released on the next weekend. And you should score at least 50%, so you should receive at least 50% of the score per homework, and at least 70% of the total score from all homeworks together. All right, beside the workshops, there will be also 2 talks, at least 2 talks. So one of them will be later today at 6 p.m. and it will be given by Zeki and Arthur. So Zeki has already announced that probably together with Arthur, they will talk about QGermany, because as we said, this is the entangling workshop for QGermany. So also one of the reasons is that, and one of the goals of this workshop is to also find people who might be interested in joining QGermany. So Zeki and Arthur will tell you about the process of formation of QGermany, about the future plans, and how to join this QGermany cousin of Qword. Zeki or Arthur, would you maybe like to add something regarding this talk?
No, it will be tonight, and during the talk or after the talk, you can ask your questions regarding QGermany or in more general Qword. I mean, now Pavel will also talk about Qword, but tonight it will be a less formal setting so that you can ask your questions.
Good. Thanks, Zeki.
Also, maybe I can clarify. Probably there
Yes.
will be some talks next week as well, but we haven't decided on the exact details, so they are not in this presentation.
Okay, yes, but we have one talk confirmed for tomorrow as well. So Professor Dr. Frank Wilhelm Mauch, the director of the Institute for Quantum Computing Analytics at Jülich, will tell us about research opportunities at Forschungszentrum Jülich. So it will be given tomorrow at 6 p.m. Zeki, would you like to add something regarding this talk?
No, I mean, I think it is very self-explanatory, and we really thank Professor Wilhelm Mauch, because he's technically on vacation, but he said that he can spare some time and talk about research and opportunities at the center. And by the way, Jülich is one of the leading institutes in quantum computing in Germany. and they have been developing this quantum technology readiness level. They are experimenting with quantum annealers and other types of hybrid quantum computational systems. So I think it is a pretty good opportunity to actually listen directly from him and maybe even ask your questions to him regarding the opportunities and the research being done in ULI. By the way, one of our mentors, Berat, is also a student at ULI, so maybe if you are interested in further information regarding how to go there or how to do research with their team, you can also ask him.
Great. Thank you, Zeki. Fantastic. All right, so pretty interesting talks and plans. And as Zeki said, maybe there will be further talks next weekend. We'll see. So in such a case, we'll of course announce them later. So as we said at the beginning, this Untangling workshop is co-organized by QWORD. So QWORD is a global network of individuals, groups, and communities collaborating on education and implementation of quantum technologies and research activities. So you can find more information on the QWORD's website. Formally, we also have a QWORD association registered in Estonia. And in QWORD, we organize many interesting initiatives related to quantum computing. So one of our goals is to build the open global quantum computing ecosystem so that everyone will have equal opportunities to learn and grow and have access to quantum technologies. So our main activities are workshops on quantum computing and programming. So these workshops is, as I said, a QBronze workshop. So the bronze are introductory materials. So this is an introduction to quantum computing. But we have also developed more advanced materials, intermediate materials that are called silver. And in fact, there is also some other materials that are called nickel. And there are some other training materials being prepared. So you can also join QWORD. So by joining QGermany, you also join QWORD. You can also join our Discord. You can follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or our YouTube. And also read more about our activities on the QWORD's website. So there you'll find information about the hackathons that we organize, about some webinars, quantum talks, QIntern program, which is an interesting research activity so that mentors, senior researchers can propose some interesting research ideas for students, for interns, and then interns from many countries can apply and do research internships for several weeks, and by being supervised by these mentors, propose the given research ideas. There are also some study groups and research projects in Q Research department of QWORD, and we are also working on preparing educational materials for not only for workshops but also for quantum computing courses that can be later carried out at universities. Maybe at some point we'll be also able to organize something like quantum semester or even quantum computing studies at universities. So this is also in our plans and one of our goals. Together with Zeki and with Maxim, we are also members of the QCousins department. So the QCousins department is responsible for organizing these local groups, operating locally, but also collaborating globally. Now we are organizing a local group in Germany, and this group will be named QGermany. And today at 6 p.m. Zeki and Arthur will tell more about this QGermany group that you can potentially join, especially if you are in Germany. And currently we have already more than 20, so in fact 25 QCousins already, because QGANA will be formally announced soon as well. Yeah, we want to engage every country, and by acting together, we want to achieve more, and we believe that it's possible. Thanks to this, we can also organize better events. Diversity is also one of our keywords. We want to engage more women and also younger people, our young generation, starting from high schools. So as you said, we hope that we'll build the open global ecosystem for quantum technology, so that everyone will have we could be easily part of this ecosystem, right? So we'll have good and easy access to this quantum computing ecosystem. That's all from my side. So I thank you for attention, and we wish you a pleasant workshop. If you have any questions regarding the organization of this workshop, you can ask your questions now. So you can also unmute yourself or ask a question here on our chat. I can see that there is a question if there will be a submission between 8. I'm not sure if I understand correctly, but regarding the homeworks, as we said, the deadline is so we will have 1 week, right, to submit and to solve your homeworks and submit the solutions, right? So there's no deadline for today. I see that Lucas has raised his hand. So Lucas, you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Okay, thank you. My question would be about the QCasms that you last spoke about. What would be the requirements to form a group, for example, here in Brazil? I see there isn't a group in Brazil. So
that's a very, very good question. I'm not sure if we have already published information on the Discord. If not, please, you can visit the Keywords website, or maybe Zeki or Maxi, maybe you can share the link to the website of QCasins. And there is the PDF document that is called the Guidelines for QCasins. And then in this document, you will see all the requirements. So first of all, you need to have a team, right? So you cannot form a QCasin by a single person. So it's good to have, so you should have at least 2 people. And of course, it's better to have more people, because as a QCasin, you will be also responsible for organizing similar local groups and organizing similar workshops to educate people in your country, so that it will be too difficult to organize it just solely, right, as a single individual person. So it's good to have a team. So that's why it's good to have at least a few people. And also you should have at least 1 person who have already completed one of our workshops in the past, so that we will be sure that you know what to expect and how our workshops look like. But since we are participating in this workshop, then I believe that you will be ready and you will have sufficient knowledge and experience about the keyword workshops to organize similar workshops in the future. And it's also good to have good connections with academia, with university, with some senior researchers as well, who could also be your mentors and help you organize these events, or maybe also some other educational research activities. So we believe that having a good connection with academia is also helpful. Do you have any more questions regarding this?
No, thank you. I understood both.
Yes, so I can see that Maxims has shared the link to the website of QCasins department. So there you'll find the guidelines and more information. So
okay,
you can read more, and if you decide at some point that you are ready and have at least 2 people in your team, then you can just send us an email and we can start talking about organizing Q Brazil, hopefully. Because
also maybe I can add, Pavel, Lucas, you can also talk with Arthur as well. Probably you know him, but I'm still.
Yes, so Arthur is one of the mentors. So he's also originally from Brazil. I think he's currently in Germany, and that's why he'll also be a member of Q Germany, as for now at least. But yeah, maybe you two could try to form Q Brazil. And I remember that there were probably more people from Brazil joining this workshop, or more people who signed up. So if there are more people, maybe you can already start some discussions on a random channel on this Discord. And then we'll be very happy to welcome Q Brazil in our Keywords family. As for now, we have only 1 QCasin in South America. So this is Q Colombia. We also started some discussions about entangling Q Argentina, but currently there is no team that would be ready. So maybe Q Brazil will be before Q Argentina. if there is a potential, I'm sure that there is a huge potential in Brazil. Good. There is another question.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm Adel Hajif.
Yes.
I have one question for you concerning these groups, operational groups, worldwide. Does these do these groups can these groups implement some solutions? Are they Is there a possibility to use them in the projects, local projects, for some content solutions, or just only workshops?
It's up to you. So of course you can organize more activities, but so these QCasins, so it also depends on how you organize the QCasin, because currently most of these QCasins are just informal groups, right? So there are no formal agreements, there are no formal structures, but in some cases, QCasins also formally register some foundations or associations that can represent given QCasin in a given country, right? And then you can potentially do some things to organize some research projects, maybe also collaborate with some other institutes as a foundation or association. So that's also possible. But of course, if you are affiliated at the university, then of course you can just invite people, other people from a given QCasin to your projects, right? But then there should be, of course, some other formal agreements on how to do it. But one thing that is important is that all these events that we organize as QCasins and as QWorlds should be non-profit, right? So we should be so this organization should be non-profit. And we also want to have our workshops free for participants. It doesn't mean that you kind of have some sponsors or donors. You may have some sponsors, because you also may have some expenses related to organizing events. So for example, you may want to buy a commercial license for Zoom or for Discord, or to employ a professional graphic designer, or maybe also to pay for the instructor of the workshop. But in general, it shouldn't be commercial activities, right? And for sure, all these events should be free for participants, because one of our goals is to build an open global ecosystem to which everyone will have free access independently on the location and the country. So that this is one of the requirements, let's say.
Okay, I'm good. Okay, thank you.
Good. All right, I can see that there are more questions. So about organizing workshops for high school students. So it depends, right? So usually these workshops for high school students are also based on the bronze materials. So sometimes we also adjust these materials, because also depending on the country, there might be different level of knowledge of mathematics or programming or physics. So we also have some even preliminary training materials and workshops that are called QPrep. So sometimes it might be good to first organize this preparatory workshop first, and then bronze workshop. So if you want to organize it in Germany, then you can also contact Zeki or Arthur or other mentors, people from Q Germany, who can also help with this. And of course, there are several options, right? So of course, you can organize the next online workshop that will be addressed to high school students, but you can also try to organize a stationary on-site workshop in some high schools. So I know from Zeki that there are also plans to organize some stationary workshops in Germany.
Yes, we are planning to do on-site workshops as well, but not particularly for high school students, at least in the beginning.
Regarding Q-Intern program, because I can see that there is a Q-Intern program, it's online program. It's a remote program, because Also, the mentors might be from all over the world, and the participants might be also from all over the world. And it may happen that the intern and the mentor are from the same country and maybe also from the same university, but I believe that for this, they don't need to participate in this Q-Intern program. They can just easily communicate individually and then set everything together. So one of the goals of this Q-Intern program is just to match mentors with potential intern students from all over the world. So that's why this, by default, it's a remote only workshop. And how competitive it is, it also depends. So usually we have really very large number of participants. I believe that, as far as I remember, this year we had about 20 projects that were proposed and about 400 or even more than 400 signups for being the intern. And it's always the decision of the mentor who will be finally invited, right? So some mentors just analyze your curriculum, your CV. Some mentors also organize some, maybe not exams, but they give some quizzes to the applicants in order to just evaluate the knowledge, the skills of the participants, right? And it's up to the mentor how many interns will be invited. So this year and last year, I personally invited more than 20 interns, between 20 and 30. But I know that some mentors invited maybe only a few interns, so it really depends. There was a comment that someone is giving a high school workshop in Hamburg and Regensburg. Maybe we could add a channel for this subject on Discord. We can consider it. So I will leave it to Zeki and people from Q Germany, because I believe it's already related to potential Q Germany activities. Yeah, and Zeki has already said that you can ping him on Discord server, which is great. So thanks, Zeki, for this. All right, do we have more questions? I don't see more questions on our chat. I also don't see any raised hands. So I believe we can finish this introductory part now. So I will now stop sharing my slides. And once again, I wish all of you a pleasant workshop. I hope you will have fun and you will learn a lot and you will enjoy this event and later also contribute to Q Germany and maybe also organize similar Q Cousin groups in other countries. So good luck, and Maxims, if you are ready, the Zoom is yours, I believe.